Right and left cerebral hemispheres.
Cross off. I still want the parts.
Longitudinal fissure.
Okay, the longitudinal fissure is literally what separates the right from the left. All the way around, just like on the sheep. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
One in the middle.
Frontal lobe.
Okay, so where are the frontal lobes? Show me how that goes.
Maybe
Show the whole thing. Show me the entire frontal lobe. Which side of the head are you on?
it's before this, right?
No, I want the. Which side are you on?
Oh, I'm on the left side.
Okay, show me the entire left frontal lobe.
Is it like this whole?
Goes all the way from under here, all the way to there. Takes up way over half your head.
Okay.
They're massive.
The central sulcus.
That's what I needed you to find. So right back there, when that color changes, you're in parietal. That's the left central sulcus right there. And I would only flag it from one of the two colored brains,
Colored ones.
because you can see it easily. And maybe Musselman's, whose is the smallest brain on that shelf.
The parietal lobe.
So the left parietal's back here. And they're not very big.
So all of these will have left and right.
Yeah.
And the lateral sulcus.
The lateral sulcus is what separates the temporal lobes from everybody else. So you can see how wrinkly it is too? That's going to be the sulcus. That's a lateral sulcus right there. Okay, so it's up under there.
What does this separate? It separates the.
Temporal from parietal and frontal.
Oh.
And frontal and parietal.
Temporal lobe.
Temporal lobes, that's them. Left or right. That's it right here.
Occipital lobe.
Way in the back. Way in the back. Way in the back.
Corpus callosum.
Okay, so everybody there was left and right except right now the longitudinal fissure. And the corpus callosum is not paired either. It's a single object. Cut right in half, that big, thick guy. Callosum is how you say it. Long
Callosum.
unites the two hemispheres. So both
So
sides
you
of
don't
our
consider
body
it right or left, right?
can't be. It's uniting them. It's one thing right in the center that you guys cut through on the sheet.
Yeah. Lateral ventricles.
Cross it off because it tells you to go look at the 8-piece model. So you look at the model itself.
In your cerebellum, the
Cerebellum.
arbor.
Hang on, you gotta look at the cerebellum.
Oh.
Cerebellum. And then the arborvitae, the white matter inside. Just like on the sheep. But now it's even, the way they did it, more noticeably white matter.
Brainstem. Your medulla oblongata.
So you put this pie together. That's right in there. About 1 inch below the pons.
So that'd be like this part
No,
here.
the pons is right there. It's got to be that part right there.
Oh, just this piece.
Yeah, about 1 inch right there, just below the pons right there. That's it.
This one says pyramids.
Cross them off.
Okay.
Won't make you learn them on anything.
And pons.
Pons is the big bulge, the bunny's head, big bulge. Leg.
Middle cerebellar.
Cerebellar. So you're going to attach the cerebellum to the pons, okay? So you kind of look at this, and this is not it yet, but you look at that, and then you want to look at the brainstem. Good, I picked up the right one for a change. This side's not numbered, okay? But the right-hand one is. That's it. So when you look at that cut edge, almost like a musical note, and you look at that edge like a musical note, so it would fit. Okay. There are 3 cerebellar peduncles to attach the cerebellum to the brain, whereas you only have the 1 pair of cerebral to attach the cerebrum here to the pons. Okay. We did the bunny ears already, but they're coming up. So on the midbrain, we could do the bunny ears, cerebral peduncles. So again, this side's not the one that's not numbered, but this side is. Okay, so the bunny ears is what you're looking at. And then, of course, that's the pons.
Corpora.
Quadragemina. So there, that was in. You look at from the front, and the eyes are up here. So you flip it around. That's what everyone around the room is showing you guys already. So your left or your right.
Oh, right.
So there's the superior, and there are the inferior. Okay.
Okay, so superior, inferior. Got the cerebral aqueduct.
Okay. Now I need this guy. I can show you on that, but it's easier to do it with everybody intact. First of all, even though you're going to cross it off eventually, the area that I am actually touching but not resting this on anything, because it's a space, that would be the third ventricle. Then you take all the fluid inside there and you run it through the cerebral aqueduct. So third ventricle, cerebral aqueduct, into the fourth ventricle. The fourth ventricle, you absolutely have to have the cerebellum down there, or you can't see it. So if I bring this guy out, that's the cerebral aqueduct, and there's no, because there's no cerebellum attached.
Right.
So no fourth ventricle. Okay.
So we got the fourth ventricle.
Diencephalon has the rest of the parts.
Okay. Thalamus.
Thalamus, the wall of the third ventricle, that was the space that I didn't touch. The wall of the third ventricle, that's thalamus. There's the other side of it. So that's the wall of the third ventricle.
Intermediate mass.
Is that little thing right in the middle, either side. And not everybody has one, but these models do.
Third ventricle.
Yep.
Saw.
Cross off third ventricle because I won't ask the ventricle from here. I'd ask it on that. Then the hypothalamus. So the walls of the third ventricle are the thalamus. The anterior floor is the hypothalamus.
Mammillary body.
M on that side, left and right. And the other side, what does that say? 40?
48.
Thank you. So on the sheep, they have one mammillary body, big fused thing. On us, they're like little breasts. That's where the name comes from. Just like little tiny breasts that way up there.
Interesting.
And then cross off third ventricle again, because I'd use the ventricle model itself. I don't want that.
Spinal cord.
Okay, so the spinal cord is this last little piece. Central canal right in the middle. Well, not in the middle, but back behind there, that little tube. Now you got to fix these next two. So first of all, right or left.
Of course.
Then it needs to read cervical spinal nerve 1, cervical spinal nerve 2. And then you go on down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we get to one of the other models. So they're numbered from top to bottom, so that's 1 and that's 2. Okay, 1, 2. But the day of the test, it would be, don't forget they're going to be actually upside down. Okay. So when you look at this side that's painted, they tell you, yeah, 42
Oh, yeah.
on this one. But on this one, they actually painted both of them. Which side was painted? So they're both 42. You just have to remember one's down here, two's up there.
Did you say the code? Cervical spinal nerves?
No, cervical spinal nerve.
Spinal nerve.
Your spinal nerves.
Cranial nerves.
Yeah, there's a boatload of them.
I can see that.
Actually, there's only 12, but anyway. And I never need the Roman numeral. I need the name.
The name.
You're going to have to know them in order the day of the test. I'll
I'm-
provide you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's easier.
And you give me the number. Or the name, I mean. Name. Okay.
Olfactory bulbs.
So everything's right and left except the optic chiasma. All the rest are me. So the bulbs are right in front. Right or left olfactory bulbs. So they're way up there, running right up against the frontal lobes. And then coming out of them, the straight line back is the olfactory tract. Left or right olfactory tract. So that was number 28.
28, yes.
And I don't know what 29 is. I have no clue on this model. But number 30, It's not numbered anymore, it's rubbed off, it's right there. But it is number 30 on this side, if I can turn it. Right there, under the pituitary gland. Okay. So those are the optic nerves. So the left is numbered. I think everything's right on here now. And the left on there.
Chiasma.
Chiasma
Chiasma.
means cross, literally. Chiasma. Christ was hung on a chiasma. Okay, it's the Greek letter, and that's what it looks like. So when you open this guy up, I knew there was something else I wanted to show. This side, nothing numbered, but that's it. But this side, there's your number right inside. Now they're in order, 31. And we'll keep going. 30 was the optic, and then 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 40. All the way through to 40. So that's the chiasma where they're literally crossing over. So the left eye is controlled by the right side of the brain, and the right, that's how they do it. Everything's controlled opposite on your brain, and that's how the eyes do it. They cross at the chiasma.
Oculomotor.
Oculomotor. So now we go back to the brain stem for these guys. You can see it here too. The oculomotor, right there. So when you look at them here, they are on top of the pons and literally side by side. That's right in between them, barely. They're just crammed, almost touching each other. They're so close. Just right on top.
Trochlear nerve.
Now you go behind the pons. So this little thin line back here. Okay. And on this model, yeah, I think this side's better. It's this, don't move it because you'll break it eventually, but it's that little wire that's representing. So they're representing size, so it's real thin. Okay. Trochlear comes from behind.
So the trochlear is the wire.
Yeah.
In this.
Yes.
The trigeminal.
Trigeminal. Three twins, literally. Big stumps. When I get my fingers out of the way. See, this side not numbered, the other side is. Okay. So it'll have 3 branches. You're going to have to learn them on one of the other models.
Abducens nerve.
Abducens now. So when you look at the oculomotor, we're on top of the pons. The trochlear come from behind the pons. The trigeminal come from behind, but sort of the middle of the area, but toward the back, the middle side. And then when you come back up front, almost touching, but from right underneath it, there's the abducens.
35.
Wait, where are they?
The white.
30.
Those two right in between. Yep, right there. So the other side, remember, is not numbered. Then
Facial nerve.
36, 37 are right here, side by side. So the facial's the little guy, the bigger one's the vestibulocochlear.
Okay.
Okay. They pass through the internal auditory meatus together. So they're side by side. And then the facial is the one that will come out of the external and run literally to your face to move all the muscles and stuff.
Glossopharyngeal.
Now we got the problem. On this one's painted backwards. So I'm going to start with. So back behind, just in front of the cerebellum, way back there. 38, 39. So glossopharyngeal, vagus. And then this little thin line, basically, is all it looks like. That little piece right there is going to be the accessory. And it's really thin. But those 3 pass through the jugular foramen together, along with the jugular. Okay. So when I get to this one, this is the problem child. That's 38 on top. I don't care what the number says. That's the glossopharyngeal. Right below it's the vagus. They're painted backwards.
Yeah.
Susan and I have tried white out, and we've redone stuff, and you guys, the first time it's touched, it's gone. And then again, the accessory is just a little like fine line. One of the other models may show the line better, especially going down.
Which one was the Vegas again?
The middle of the 3. That one.
So that would be 38 on this one right now.
It should, yeah, on this one, but all the rest it should say 39.
Okay.
The other 8-piece is correct. That one might be the one that's missing, actually. No, that 8-piece brain, I don't know why. We should have gone.